about it. Short end of the days here. Just wanted to go over and get a video out on back testing. Um, I find it to be one of the most important things in learning a new system, or even later on building your own system or changing a system to make it your own. You need to understand what's going on. So backtesting is one of the most important things. So with that being said, this is based up for trend lock because that's what I had the setup here for. The 40 range chart, the 5 minute chart, and the 1 minute chart. All right. Um, I have my own set of tools up here that I utilize. I have my different arrows, my different rollers, and a few other things. But with doing this, all you really need is a Ninja Trader, is the chart markers, the arrow up, and the arrow down. Now, an easy way to make sure you can access them easily is, I'll do it here on the 5 minutes, so I don't mess with the tick replay. You come here, you go to indicators, pops up with indicators. You go down to drawing tool tile. Click on that. I always take the name out because once you take the label out, then it doesn't populate at the top of your chart. So you have that. Then see where it says drawing tools. Hit that, drop down to go. With that, it gives you a bunch of different options. Since we're just back testing, we only need what we need for the back testing. All right. And that's not a lot. If you want, you can leave text so you can draw text. All right. But you need arrow down, arrow up. Since it's trend lock and we do utilize simple search, I'll leave my range tool going across. All right. And other than that, we need one more, which would be the ruler. All right. Now the ruler you're just going to be using as we go through, and everything else is right there. So you click OK. When you do that, we get this bar right here. I can move it around, and this will populate right over here on this side on your 40 range chart. You have your up arrows. So if you have a long going, put your green arrow. If you have a short going, put your red arrow down. The ruler will measure for you. Okay, do this here. So remove. So say like right here, there's a long. Actually, right here's good. There's a long. Perfect. Grab your ruler. Enter here. You exit there. Gives you your value for everything that's there. All right. Say if you decided to go short here, and for whatever reason this was here, you closed out here, but you were going short. All right. So it went against you. While you still have the ruler outline, you click properties where it says text color. It's the way I like to do it. You can do it any way you like, but I'll do that for ones that failed. So this was a win, this was a loss, and it's real easy to figure out which ones worked where and how. Okay, so you just point to right where your entry is, right in line, do your measurement, and just an easy way of going through and back testing. All right. For me, I'll go to properties and be able to remove those, remove that, remove that. All right. Okay. So I'll take the indicators off of here, and then I'll go through a little bit of this is the process with TrendLock. Since it is dealing with all three charts, all right, what I technically do is I'll go here. These are your crosshairs. Like crosshairs, make them global, all right. Same thing here. Crosshairs, global. Now these two are attached. Come to the 40, global. All the charts are attached. Now, you get this soul tile option here. All right. So now that they're all attached, we could go around and looking exactly where our rules are followed and where entries are. Like this is right here. We have the 5 minute MACD up and above. We're above the EMAs. The 1 minute, we're above the EMAs. So we have our rules. On the 40 right here, see if we're watching everything. We crossed over, pulled away, came back, perfect entry. With that, we come up, we grab our arrow and place your arrow. And once you have that, come back. We're good. And then from here, I would just measure off to right below where that candle is, because that's what the rules were. We're following the rules. And now we have, I'll go the other one. This is one that's more familiar with everyone. Right from here to here. Perfect. And there you go. So now we know where our entry is. We see where it worked out. We're understanding why this is working. All right. And these are the rules that you're seeing for it going. So now, all right, if we followed all the rules, this is what our result is. All right. It comes to here. This is sloping down. So we don't have an entry here. Okay. And then we go further. We're above the EMAs, but the MACD on the 5 minute is below. So this doesn't follow all the trend lock rates. All right. Right here, we're crossing above on the 5. Everything is in agreement. We're good right here. So this would be an entry. Okay. Then we go to our ruler, grab that. We're here. So right where the entry is, we click, going underneath the bullish candles, right there. Voila. And this is how you go through and backtest the system manually to make sure that you're following all the rules and that everything is in compliance with what you're doing with your system. All right. And this way you'll understand where your rules are and why you're working through your rules, what the results are. And the more you do it, the more you'll have a good understanding of your system, of your results, and what the probabilities are of the system working. And even more so, you get your eye trained at to seeing exactly what you want to look for. Okay, so we came here. We're not above. We didn't cross yet. Okay, so we crossed here. We pulled back, and then we got our entry. Okay, we're looking over while we have the crosshairs right here on our spot. Looking over here on the left on the 5 minute. All right, which is right here, right where that entry is. All right, look at the crosshairs. We're above, and everything's above. Do this right here. See, everything's above. We're looking good. And the 1 minute, everything's in alignment. So we had our entry. Here, we crossed that. Let's go to where it crossed down. We crossed down. The 1 minute's down and below. The 5 minute is below the signal line. We ended up getting a pullback. We crossed here. We pulled back to here. All right. But on the 5 minute, it didn't completely move over. Here, now we're seeing that the 5 minute MACD had crossed. So we'll pull this out a little bit. All right. See it right here. It crossed under. Right here it wasn't, but right here it's crossing on. So now that cross, we have all our rules followed. And that's right on this trap traders that's coming off of the end. So come back, grab it. There's our entry on this candle. All right. And we get our roller, pull it down. We're right now we're above that candle. Never got to it, never got to it. There it is. All right. And you go through the rules. Look, so right here, we don't have any. The 5 minutes below, okay, we got to here. We're riding above the ADMA on the 40. The 40 rules are not applying to the MACDs. All right. We're above the standard. This is for the enhanced version of Tremlock. Now we're above the zero line. So now we're pretty much looking for loss. Okay. And if we look at the 5, we haven't crossed yet. So we continue. Now over here on the 5, the MACD crossed over. For 1 minute, we're looking good. All right. Everything's looking good. Even right here, we didn't cross yet, but right here, we're already crossing the 5. So we came here. We're crossing up above on the fast line down here. But our MACD didn't cross until here. Once it crossed here, here we had a little bit of a pullback. We have the surge signal. This is above. We're good at this point here. And this closes up to take this low. So we crossed over here. We crossed over here. This pulled up. There's that. That surge candle. Now we put the ruler. We're entering here. Behind that candle. Look at the line. You know, I'm going to do this so we can see it a little better. We're right there. Then we're there. Then we're there. And then we just keep following it up until we get up there. And it actually gets us out right there if we didn't leave the tip. All right. But now you're training your eye. Okay, I want that to cross on the 5 minute right here. We want this to cross. So now it crossed. It pulled back. We technically could have got in here. Okay. Because we had this surge that everything came down to. So technically, this would have been a simple surge off of this, because these were both surge points. Okay, with this here. But we waited till here. We have the cross on the fast. On the bottom, it's sloping up, but we wanted the cross of the MACD, which we got here. Then we had a little pullback, and it went, and we got our 17.75. Okay, and you just continuously do this. Here is actually a decent setup, but we had news that came in. You see all these candles with the news. And look at the bottom. I'm not even sure what day this is, but it just rolls right through. And then as it rolls out of the news, our MACD on the 5 is crossed now right here. So as it crosses, and you see it crossing, rules apply. We're good. Here's an interesting one, because which one do we get into? Well, we get on the one that crosses down under here. Now do here. We had a pullback on this candle, and then it came down again, crossing under. Once that crossed under, we're taking it from the low, top of that candle, top of this candle, top of this candle, top of this one, top of this one, top of this one, this one. We'll bring this right over to the edge. Another 36.5. All right. What we got here, the MACD crossed under, the EMA was crossed up right under here. It was just right here, just missing underneath here. It was just coming down, sloping really hard there. All right. The 1 minute had us already give us the entry that it came in way ahead of time. All right. We were good to go. The 40 will help us get into those trades perfect. Okay. You could have got in here, would have took you out here for break even, and then this one took you for the rest of the way. Mhm. All right. Rules wise, now we're above the EMAs stacked on the 5 minute to the upside. We're above with the MACD on the 5 minute. All right. Now we're looking for our long. Here, it crossed up on this candle. Okay. As this crossed up, it pulled up. You got a little bit of a pullback on this one. We had a pullback with a surge right here. Okay. Technically, we could have taken this. With this one here, pulled back even harder. We had a simple surge, but we're not touching the eight. Here, you touch the eight. Actually, no, we didn't even. So we really never got a full confirmation on this whole run going up. So we are looking at it. You don't want to have a bias on it if it's not following all the rules. It doesn't follow the rules. All right. We are crossed down below the fast. There's nothing. All right. So it's basically just that simple. Here, that crossed under. We're here. We have absorption. Everything looks good. We have our rules. So let's say not this one right here. This one here, MACD is crossed. We're all good. That absorption candle. And we're looking good. So, looking up. All right. And that's it. When you're done doing your back testing, looking at everything, you pull it away, you zoom out, and you take a look at all your results. All right. And you go through, do your little adjustment so you can see everything. Take your notes, do a screenshot, whichever way makes you feel the most comfortable is what you do. All right. Get to see the entry candle comes down. This is how I do my recaps every day. I like to do this, keeps me fresh, keeps me understanding. I do it as recaps, do it as back testing, and it's a manual way of doing it. All right. But from here to here, we had one full day. The full day, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins, one loss. Definitely not a bad day. Decent amount of points, over 100 points. And there's trend lock for you. Oh, there it is, June 4th. That was the day for this, of 2025. All right. Hope that helps you. And you want to do this as much as possible. I still, after years of trading, like to do this every day. End of the day, I come back, I look to see how my system performed, what it does. I'll take a screenshot, I put it into a folder, and then I have my understanding of how my system works every day going forward, and I have my notes. Okay? But any system you come up with, you want to change something, manually backtest it, go through, see how the results are, and then you have your idea of probability. All right, so this is only 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades. All right, third day. Typically, you want to back test as much as you can. Okay. Um, I know with Ninja Trading, you have 3 months of data. If you can get further back, which I believe you can look in to manually do anything, go back as far as you can. Because the market's conditions are always changing. What's working today doesn't work tomorrow. That's when every day you have different results with different systems. So always take a look, see how your system does, understand it, and then this will help you embed it into your trading. And you'll see how it'll end up furthering your trading as you go along. Because you'll understand what you're looking for. You're training your eye to see what it is that's making this work and why it works. You'll understand certain other aspects that you'll see during the day as well. Because trying to figure this out while the market's moving is a lot harder than figuring it out when it's already been done. Okay? And here there was a couple of good setups that could have been taken. All right. But you have to make sure all your rules are followed when you're back testing and don't go, well, I could have taken it now. Make sure all the rules are followed for your back testing so you have the proper results. Otherwise, you're not doing yourself any justice. All right. All right. Hope all is well, and I'll see you guys on the next.